All right, John. I did a narrative earlier. I really want to get your take because we might not have the same view here, but I believe that the crack up, the MAGA crack up, which the left wing keeps reporting, is oversized, overstated, phony, and fake, and driven by a handful of naysayers that are podcasters that I think the left wing media gives outsized credence to. You kind of know who they are. My friend Steve, Candace Owens, Megan Kelly, Tucker Carlson, who is the other? Alex Jones, and a handful of us. I can't remember their names. Candace Owens. What is your view of this war and where the MAGA base is now?
That's a really good question, John. I haven't devoted a lot of thought to it, frankly. I'm just sort of staying in my lane to try and figure out what the truth is. And so I would say that I did not particularly like President Trump's throwing Tucker Carlson under the bus, even though I get it. But I think that we should encourage everyone to be able to have their voice, whether you agree with them or not, and then let the public court of opinion decide whether they're right or not. And that goes for President Trump too. He's free to throw Tucker under the bus if he wants to, but I don't think it encourages free speech and freedom of thought. And, we have one big town hall here in America, and it's what's made this country great. And I don't want to lose that. I want to enhance it. So that's the only asterisk I would put on it. But time and again, every time I have even thought about criticizing President Trump, 6 months later, he turns out to be exactly right. And I heard your segment on Iran. A lot of people are upset with him for going into Iran. Why are you upset with the president of the United States trying to protect you? And that's what this is about. Iran has terrorized this country and the world for 50 years. No president had the guts or the courage to do what Trump has done. So kudos to him. And I think your analysis is spot on. The only point of disagreement I have with you is you don't seem to be concerned about regime change. They've got Khomeini's son, who has been declared as a new supreme leader, and he's more radicalized than his crazed father. So I do think we need to complement this with regime change. But the Iranian people need it.
I mean, isn't that up to the Iranian people?
It's not?
Isn't that up to the Iranian people?
Oh, that's what I just said. I think it's up to the Iranian people to do it. But I don't think that we should discourage it.
Right. No, I agree with that. But look, it's up to them to choose their government. And I don't think this new leader's going to be around long. I understand he got wounded. That's what they're saying. They haven't seen him in the first attack. As soon as the guy surfaces, the Israeli intel, the IDF is going to take him out the next minute. So the guy's not long for this world. So they're going to keep going through leaders until they're all dead. It's kind of the way I look at it.
Well, we are at war, and it's a war that they brought upon themselves for their reckless behavior. They publicly said that they're putting a bounty on Trump's head, and you think that was a smart thing to do? I don't think so. You're going to kill me? No, I'm going to get you first.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah,
that's what's
kill
happening
you first. Yeah. You follow Georgia. We had an election yesterday. The Trump-backed candidate Clay Fuller, easy victory, absolutely crushed Colton Moore, beat him by something like 25 points or something. And it's going to go to the runoff with the Democrat. Democrats are claiming tremendous victory. They spend all this money on their Democrat candidate. They spent millions of dollars, and they basically got out the Democrat vote. But if it was just all the combined, he lost 63 to 37. How is that a victory for the Democrats?
It's a victory because they lie. They do the same thing they always do. They spin it, they twist it, they twirl it. And basically what it is that's just code word for they're lying. I mean, that district is one of the most conservative districts in the nation. I think it's R plus 15, maybe 20. Yeah. I don't know. 20. And it's just crazy to think that you're going to claim victory. I guess getting 37% is better than zero. but it's about right down where you would have expected it to be. I just miss Marjorie Taylor Greene, to tell you the truth. And she's somebody I don't even like on a personal level because she's mean as hell. But she's right. So I sacrifice my personal feelings for what I believe is a warrior for conservative causes.
Why do you think she's right? What is it that she's saying that's pissing everybody off that you feel is right?
Well, releasing the Epstein files. I mean,
I agree with that.
there was a unanimous vote in Congress to release
Exactly.
them, and that's what she and Trump had a falling out over.
Yeah.
So I think that was a mistake on President Trump's part, because it does give the Dems fodder to say, "Oh, Trump must be in the Epstein files." Well, yeah, he's in the Epstein files because his name has been inserted there by Epstein and that demonic member of the press, what's his name, who said, "How are we going to get Trump?" Yeah, he was in the Epstein files, but in a very good way, in my opinion, if you follow what I'm saying. They were trying to
Exactly. No,
undermine him.
yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. Let's get to your show, The Truth with John Gordon, because I really want to promote that. Saturdays at noon. I just want to tell my audience how difficult it is to grow a show on a Saturday, especially in a network like ours, which is dominated on the weekends with college football and basketball, and then when the Steelers play on Saturday and all that. I mean, it's dominated with that. We got a handicapping show that precedes John, or a golf show that precedes John. That's very difficult to do because your lead-in is athletics. But you built a very, very, very burgeoning audience. How have you been able to do that?
It's just a labor of love, John, and I appreciate your confidence so much. And you are, whether you know it or not, my role model. I mean, what you do every single day of the week, 5 days a week, maybe six, including your Saturday show that precedes ours. It takes work, and I only do it for 2 hours a week, and it takes work, but I just love it. It keeps my head in the game, and it keeps me focused on what's important in life. And we're excited this Saturday to welcome our new studio sponsor, Bone Frog Coffee. And if you'll tune in with our new sponsor, we're going to have Corrine Clifford, who I think you know, John. She's a member of the White House Press Corps, and she's got a lot of independent thoughts and great ideas. We're going to be talking about the midterms and her life in Washington as a part of the White House press pool. And we've got Seamus Bruner, and we're going to talk a lot about Minnesota fraud and that lovely guy, Governor Walz. How is he still relevant in any circles?
All right, we're out of time, but I got to tune into John's show, The Truth with John Gordon, across our network, all of our apps, all of our TV stations, everything, Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, The Truth with John Gordon, Saturdays, noon to 2. Don't want to miss that right here on the John Fredericks Media Network. Looks like a great show on Saturday, John. I'm going to be at Colonial Downs for the Virginia Derby, so I'm going to miss your show, but hopefully I can pick a bunch of winners. John, thanks for being with us.
Listen on the app. You can tune in while you're.
I gotta study that racing for me. I got to get out of there with. I got to get out there with some Jack. Right. I got March Madness coming up. I've got hockey playoffs coming up. I got a little spending money.
Busy man, I tell you, I love it. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for having me on.
Thanks, John. Thanks. Thank you, John Gordon. I bet one game last night. Hurricanes over who? Who'd they beat? Oh, the Penguins. Like, I'm betting against the Penguins. I go to bed, they're up 4-2. Then I go to the bathroom, I see they're in a shootout. I'm like, I counted my money. The Penguins have not won a shootout in I don't know, 8 seasons. I think it was Saxman who said 3 things you can count on: death, taxes, and the Penguins never win a shootout. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. We'll be right back. Morgan Griffith next.